Hello everybody, Jack here, welcome back to another video. In today's video we've got a bit of a weird one. We're going to be investigating an issue with Chelsea's car. Now Chelsea's my other half, she's got a Mini R51. So we're going to be having a look into that and seeing what the issue is. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for all the support recently. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button just to stay up to date with any new videos I upload. There will also be a lot of things from the Mini project coming soon. So yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button just to let me know that you're enjoying the videos. But for now, let's crack on with this one. So I thought I'd explain the issue we're having a little bit more. So Chelsea got to work this morning and she has to sort of reverse park on a hill. Does look a little bit tricky, but anyway, she just stalled the car as you do, and when she stalled it and went to start it back up again, it wouldn't start. So it's cranking, but it won't turn over. So we're obviously not sure what it is, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be troubleshooting it and getting it resolved. So currently it's our workplace, which is like 3 or so miles down the road, so it's not too bad. I'm going to go this evening at 5:30 just to try and get it back and running so we can drive it home. If we can't, we'll have to try and get it trailered or towed home, which, you know, we can do. It's not necessarily a big issue. So the reason I'm out with my Mini is because I think the issue is the spark plugs. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my spark plugs out of here, and then I'm going to take them tonight to put into Chelsea's Mini. Now you're probably wondering, why do I think that? So the reason I think that is because the car has been fine for ages. It hasn't skipped a beat. It's been running for months and months and months now without any issues. She obviously drove it to work this morning as well, which is, you know, a good sign. It shows it was working. She said it was fine on the way to work. So I actually got on FaceTime to her while she was on her lunch break, and I asked her to sort of, you know, turn the key to see if we could hear anything. And you can hear the fuel pump prime. So I'm confident the fuel pump's working. Obviously not too sure whether we're getting fuel pressure at the rail, which I'm obviously going to check that later, just in case it is something that simple. So yeah, I'm going to take the spark plugs with me, just so I've got them. I'm going to take a selection of small tools, just so we've got it there in case it's a nice and easy fix. I'm hoping it is going to be something like spark plugs, and then we can just replace them. Happy days, back on the road. But if it is something else, like a fuel rail or whatever, we'll obviously have to get it towed back here. I mean, we do have a fuel rail at the minute, the one that used to be on here, so I could get that back up and running nice and quickly, but we will obviously have to see. For now, I'm going to take these spark plugs out, and I'll catch back up with you when I've got them out. Okay, so I've got the 4 spark plugs out. I've got my spark plug socket and my ratchet ready. We're of course taking the trusty Subaru because Minis clearly are unreliable. So I'll put them in there in a bit. I'm also going to take the ignition leads and the ignition pack from my Mini, just in case it's that. It sounds like it's not sparking properly, so it's going to be one of them, basically. So I'm going to take them as well. And the more I think about it, I just can't get out of my head fuel. I feel like it's something to do with the fuel. Okay, so I've got a small selection of tools. So I've got a ratchet with a 10mm socket on it, a bigger ratchet with the spark plug socket on it. I've got a pair of needle nose pliers in case there's a fuse or something. I've got my spark plugs in there, and then I've got the HT leads and core pack. Okay, so that's all I can think of needing for now. I do actually have some spare ignition leads in the shed, so if mine work to sort of get Chelsea home, then we can swap them out tonight. So that's pretty much it for now, until I can go up there at about 5:30. Chelsea does work at a nursery, so I won't be able to film. Obviously, you know, you can respect why not. So I will update you afterwards on what's gone on or what we're doing, that sort of thing. But yeah, I will see you, I'd assume, at about 6ish, once we've swapped the spark plugs out and the ignition leads. So we just got back from Chelsea's work and we've diagnosed it. It needs a fuel pump. So it's the next day now. I went to Chelsea's work last night as I'd planned to. So when I got there, I tried changing the coil pack and the ignition leads to see if that would help. It didn't, still wouldn't start. So then I went down my original train of thought, which was fuel. So originally I thought there was no fuel getting to the fuel rail. I feel like it's something to do with the fuel. Just like a best guess, basically. And I was right. So I took the fuel line off the fuel rail, turn the key and we couldn't hear the pump priming. Now, as I said, I did some very basic troubleshooting with Chelsea over FaceTime on our lunch break, and I could hear some sort of humming noise when she turned the key, which I thought was the fuel pump, which is why I'd already sort of crossed it out. Turns out it wasn't. Still not too sure what it was, but yeah, when you turn the key, you can't hear the fuel pump start, and no fuel comes out at the end of the fuel line. So, fuel pump. So the first thing I did was check the fuse. So the fuel pump fuse is in the passenger side footwell in a right-hand drive car, and left-hand drive car it'd be the driver's side footwell. Went in there, it's on the left-hand side. I think it's F37. It's the top one on the far right side. It's a 20 amp fuse. Checked that and that was all okay. So it's not a fuse causing us an issue, which is okay. I thought next I checked the relay. Turns out the relay is actually soldered to the fuse board. So I do actually hope it's not the relay. I felt all the relays in the engine bay and none of them were clicking when we were turning the car on. But upon inspection, they're not the relay for the fuel pump. So, had a read around last night. This information's really hard to find online actually. But in the end I managed to find a forum post on Mini Talk where somebody said that they managed to fix an issue with the relay and they had to basically unsolder the relay from the board. Now, an alternative solution and a way to test it would be to swap in a fuse board from a working Mini, i.e. mine, just to test whether it is that relay. I don't think it will be. Out of the millions of posts on the internet, no one has said it was the relay. Everyone's saying it's the fuel pump. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've ordered a fuel pump and a filter off eBay, and they'll be there this week, so I can swap it out the weekend. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get them from, the ones I've got. Hopefully that works. We're going to have to tow Chelsea's car back tonight, so we're going to go there at 6 and hopefully get a tow from one of Chelsea's family friends, and yeah, get the car back ready for some work of the weekend. So I will catch back up with you either tonight or on Saturday. So we're on the way back from Chelsea's work now. It's only like a 3 or 4 mile journey straight down the A5. But as you can see, we're being towed. Obviously, oh, we're indicating. Obviously, I've got no brakes because the car doesn't start. So we've got no pressure in the brakes. My brake pedal is rock solid. So it's a little bit scary at the minute. But we're nearly home. We're like 2 minutes from home. So yeah, it's all going pretty well so far, although we do have the first island now. So yeah, not far from home. I'll update you when we're back. Yes! Get in! Get in! Yes! So you're probably wondering what's all the excitement about. Obviously I got Chelsea's car started again. I'd ordered a new fuel pump and fuel filter last night to replace it. Been doing some googling today obviously and managed to finally find my OBD reader, plugged it in, got a different set of codes which I'll go through with you now. That led me to a forum post which I'll leave in the description, which led me to look for this 15 amp fuse in the engine bay, which is fuse number 3. So if you've got the following code showing up, go and check this fuse and see if it's broken. If it is, replace it and see whether the car will start. So my camera died and it's the next day now, but I'm going to read out these codes to you. So if you have these codes showing up on your OBD reader and your car won't start and you can't do the fuel pump prime, then I'd suggest having a look at this fuse. So as I said before, this is engine fuse 3 in the engine bay fuse box. It's a 20 amp fuse, 3 up from the bottom. So I'm going to read out the codes that you might see on your OBD reader now. So as I said, if you do see them, go and check this fuse. Okay, so the first one is P0445, which is an evaporative emission control system purge unit. Then I got code P0031, which is the pre-cat O2 sensor, which I thought potentially could have an issue, but I was a little bit skeptical. Then I got P0037, which is the O2 sensor heater control circuit. Again, that's to do with O2 sensor, so I wasn't too sure. Then I got P0340, which if you want to go and check out in the iCard up here or here, wherever it is nowadays, I replaced that. So that code signifies as an issue with the camshaft sensor, which I replaced in that video, so you can go and watch how to do it. Then I had P2300, ignition coil A, primary control circuit low. Now I knew that this wasn't an issue because I had my coil pack from my Mini on there with my coil leads, and I knew that they were perfect and they're almost brand new, so I knew that that couldn't have been an issue. I then got P2303, which is ignition coil B, primary control circuit low, same thing again. So then I finally found a post on North American Motoring. I'll leave a link to this in the description. But essentially what it says is I've got an 03 Mini Cooper, 2 nights ago I started my car and some lights come on. So he did the code read and he basically got all the ones that I got. So he said he checked the fuses but he couldn't find anything. So someone further down on the forum said to check engine bay fuse box, engine fuse 3, and that's what it was. So yeah, thanks to whoever that was, because you fixed the issue and we don't need to replace the pump or the filter. The filter actually arrived yesterday. I might still do that. The pump's meant to arrive today. I probably won't do that because there's no real need. But yeah, we've managed to fix Chelsea's car. Thankfully it was just a fuse. We didn't have to do anything else, and I was kind of worried it was going to be an inertia switch. So if you've never heard of an inertia switch, basically what it does is it cuts the fuel. It cuts the power supply to the fuel pump in the event of a crash. Now on the older Minis there's a button in the engine bay on the passenger side. It's stuck to the side just below where the windscreen cowls are. You can press that and reset the inertia switch, which will allow the fuel pump to get power again and so let the car start. Now on the later generation Minis they moved that inertia switch to be part of the airbag system. So to reset that would involve resetting the airbag system basically, which is obviously not something that most people can do at home. So I was glad to find out it wasn't that system at fault and it was just this fuse, and I was able to replace it cheaply and easily. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, it really does help. And go and check out my website, www.grindinggears.uk. We've got stickers available over there to put on your car. Send me a photo of them on Instagram and I'll repost it on my story. But for now, as I said, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your mates, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.